How do you write an Amazon #1 best-selling book? That is the question I always get asked, and I humbly state that I am the right guy to ask. And I'll tell you why I'm the right guy to ask that question. Because I don't have a writing background, didn't go to school for writing, I don't have any family or friends in publishing. There wasn't some lucky break. This was hard work and a series of trial and error. So what are the two essential things you need to write a best-selling book? You need a really good story, and you need to be able to get it out to your customers, and that has to do with public relations and advertising. So if you're not Stephen King, where you could write any subject and make it amazing, although he does write what he wants to write about, if you're not super talented, which I'm not, and maybe 95% of the world is not super talented in writing, you can still get there if you work really hard. So this is what you have to do. You have to write a book that you're passionate about. So when things get tough and you don't feel like writing, or you don't feel like redoing it again, or you don't feel like starting over, you have some wind behind your sails to keep pushing you forward, because the goal is there, the end line is there. So what I would suggest is find something that you're passionate about, something that really is interesting. If it's a story you know about, it's a story about you. If you feel there's something really compelling about your upbringing, you tell that story, but you got to tell it in your own voice. When you read a book, you just want to be immersed in another person's world. We use it for distraction, we use it for learning. So make sure that book is in your voice, not someone else's voice, not a voice you think the audience wants. In your particular, all of us talk different, we have a different cadence, we use different words, so it's important you don't try to sound like anyone else, you sound like yourself, which is unique. So that's number one. Number two, okay, if you don't get a publisher to offer you money, which I didn't, I wrote to maybe 1,000 publishers and nobody wrote me back or was interested in my book, then you got to go alone. And I'm what's known as hybrid published. I use the company to help make my book look professional, but they're not a publisher. They don't do anything with PR, or it's all me. So they help make the project look professional at the end and polished and a beautiful cover, and I use the right fonts and text and all that stuff. But ultimately it's all on me. So here's my suggestion. You have this idea for, let's say you're a fisherman, or you have some unique fishing ideas or styles. So you have to look for those audience, people who are similar to you, people who also love fishing, and you got to find them on social media and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and you got to start talking to them. And you can't just sell. You can't just sell people. I see people write books and then they're posting every page, buy my book, buy my book. But why? I want to trust you, that I believe that you know what you're talking about, or you have an interesting topic. So sometimes you gotta build an audience before you release your book, and you have to give them information besides just buy my book, or you have to exchange information to make it interesting. Otherwise, why would someone come back to your social media page? And if they don't come back to your social media page, well, how are you going to promote the book? If you think there's some sort of number that you can just pay a PR company $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 to promote your book and you're going to make money, I humbly say you're completely mistaken. It just doesn't work that way. The only person who's interested in selling your book is going to be you, and it better be you. So don't think you could just hand this off to somebody else. And also, the idea that this is going to be a way to, make millions, I don't think that's the right way to approach it. Approach it with doing it so that you enjoy the process. So obviously write about something that you're passionate about. Start building your social media presence in that space. So if it's cars, if it's about painting, if it's about fishing, make sure you're starting to either create pages or engage people who are interested in that same topic. So you understand them, you know where they are. I'll continue to do these videos with other tips. Just keep following up. The most important thing about writing a book, sorry about the wind, is start it. The hardest thing to do is starting a project, and the second hardest thing is finishing. But you got to start. Stop telling your neighbor you're going to write a book. Stop telling all your buddies you're going to write a book. Stop telling your mom you're going to just start writing. And if you can't write, then pick up your phone and start recording your voice telling the story. Get it transcribed, put it on into text, and then start editing that text, and that will start you moving forward. Writing is about momentum. You need momentum. And it's also about 1 million rewrites, or for me it was. So how long does it take to write a bestseller? Well, for me it was 3 years. It wasn't 3 years of research. It was maybe, I was researching my topic, the giant killer, but it was just rewrites to make my story compelling, to pull out a lot of the words, the word salad words that just don't help the story move forward, and make it, as clean and easy to read. Because that's the most important thing I wanted, was that it was easy to read, that you almost hear my voice as you're reading the book, and it's just a simple, easy way to consume the information. So that's tip number one. I'll provide more stuff later. Thanks, guys.